K-Line here on MLB Now. Chris Young, Yonder Alonso with me. I'm Brian Kenny. Take a look at these standings in the NL West. It tells a good part of the picture. Look, you're four deep there. Padres, Giants, the mighty Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks only at 500. But run differential, I'll just read it to you here from the top. Padres plus 14, Giants plus 18, Dodgers plus 15, Diamondbacks plus 13. So Yonder, it's about this. We're looking at four clubs about the same. There's fluctuations with the win-loss run differential, which it's so early, but kind of saying these clubs are about even.
They're very even. You know, I think this division is probably the toughest division in all of baseball. You look at this Padres team, everything's going their way. Every bloop is falling, every hit is falling for them. It just seems like when it needs to go your way, it definitely goes your way. That's what's happening with the Padres. You look at the Dodgers, they really haven't gotten hot yet, and yet they're 10-4. If anything, you will look at this division and you would think the Giants are the best team, one of the best teams, right? I think starting pitching is really good, is up there within that division, and they're hitting. It's the style that they bring to a Giants team. It's the old school mentality of the Buster Posey's years, right? It's good defense, really good starting pitching, and timely hitting. They're getting that just as much.
He wanted to get baseball in a sense, his own version of baseball,
100%.
right? And I had to admit, there's something to Willie Adames with the Brewers. The moment he got to the Brewers, the shortstop that they just signed,
right.
The moment he got to the Brewers, they got better. And remember, the Brewers just stayed at the high level. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying it's all Adames, but there's something to it being Willie Adames. So Adames and Matt Chapman on that left side of the infield, they're kind of solid guys.
Yeah, the left side of the infield is one of the best in baseball, but collectively as a team, their style of play is great. And what I love about it so much, they're finding ways to manufacture runs, BK. They're scoring 4.7 runs per game, almost 5 runs per game. And they're not really clicking on all cylinders. You have Wilmer Flores swinging the bat well, Jung-Hoo Lee swinging the bat well, but Adames hasn't gotten going yet. You have a lot of guys who aren't thumping like you feel like the Giants can thump, and they're still finding a way to manufacture runs, and I think they're 13 for 14 in stolen bases. They're finding ways to take that extra base when they need to, just playing solid brand of baseball, and I think that plays well in the postseason as well.
And we were talking Padres before, and it's almost like you have to reset your expectations, but if you reset, again, down the stretch and in the playoffs, they're the best team in baseball. Should have won the World Series, could have won the World Series last year. So if you reset your expectations, it's still a pretty good club. That's still left there. It's a very good club.
Yeah, pretty good wild card team. I still think the super team is the Dodgers. I still think they'll win the division. They haven't even gotten hot. They're 10-4. They're finding ways to win. But again, you look at the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Giants. Man, that's a really good division. They can play really good baseball any time of the other year.
What I love so much about the Padres is I think they could be, if you didn't have the Dodgers being labeled as the super team, the Padres look really good to me, top to bottom from their offense. I think you need to have Cronenworth and Tatis. Hopefully their injuries aren't significant. They're supposed to come back tomorrow. If they come back tomorrow, they'll be perfectly fine. They're starting
without Jackson Merrill.
Without Jackson Merrill, that hurts, and they still found a way to win yesterday. Their starting rotation is good, like Yonder said, but their bullpen reminds me of my bullpen, BK, in 2007. When you have Morejon, Estrada, Adam, and Suarez, when you can turn a game into 6-inning games and you have a lights-out bullpen, similar to what we've seen from Cleveland for years. If we can learn to play 6-inning games with that offense they have put together, they can beat the Dodgers, they can beat the Yankees, they can beat any other team out there.
Well, I mentioned this to Rob. I had to push back a little bit because, the Dodgers have guys who are killing it. But on the field, I've seen them look lousy at times. Do you know what I mean? And they are getting a little older. Like, look, Mookie's older. Chris Taylor's older. Freddie, superstar, he's older. These guys are in their early 30s already, right? Max Muncy doesn't look like a good defensive player anymore. So on the field, they don't look as spry and as baseball-y as they used to.
My thing is, all these guys that are playing that position, I don't necessarily think that's where they belong in that certain position. Like, is Max Muncy a third baseman? Like, is he right now a third baseman?
Right.
Is Mookie Betts a true shortstop, right? Ooh. Yeah, is Kike Hernandez the first baseman slugger because we don't have Freddie Freeman? Is Freddie Freeman ever going to be 100% with his ankle from here on through his career? We just don't know if this team is going to be able to hold apart defensively. I believe in them. I still think they're a super team. I think they're going to be just fine. The depth is incredible. They'll be okay.
But have you seen the offensive numbers from the Diamondbacks?
Yes.
They're killing it. We haven't seen them fire up yet, but that's a powerful club. And if Corbin Burns becomes Corbin Burns, they're going to be right there with the top three.
Their offense is firing on all cylinders. Unfortunate for Marte being out right now, but even Perdomo, Alec Thomas is having a resurgence, and the starting rotation. Their struggles from the first 10 games of the season. Fott had a great game yesterday. They came out against the O's, won the series, win 9-0. Corbin Burns is going to be fine. Zach Gallen is already pitching well. Merrill Kelly is going to be fine. But just like we were talking about the Padres with Michael King and Dylan Cease, this is maybe a must-win season for them. They also have Kelly as well, about to be a free agent, and Gallen, who's about to be a free agent. So they're finding themselves in a very similar situation as the Padres.
So who wins the division? Still Dodgers? You're still the Dodgers.
Yeah. Still Dodgers because I still go with the starting pitching.
Yeah, I have to go there.
Yeah.
And yet, so now the other three, that's the wild cards. Like, again, and there's an NL East.
But is it possible that all four teams can be in there?
It doesn't seem that, because look, the Braves are going to come back and challenge. The Mets are already there. Phillies are probably taking the division. So there's not wild cards being handed out.
I'm more curious.
Take them all.
I'm more curious. Is it numerically possible? I want that to be one of your opens that you do here. Because is it numerically possible for four teams to come out of the West? Can that fourth place team?
Yeah, there's only so many wins to go around.
87 wins, and the second place team in every other division have less than 87 wins. I know that's unlikely. It's possible.
You'd need like a couple of bottom feeders in the other divisions that you're just piling on, like it was a few years ago. Remember, it was like White Sox and Royals. You could get all your wins there.
You have to.
But I don't think that's even the Marlins are playing good now. So there's not that many wins to be grabbed.
Or you would need the division winners in the other divisions to have 95 wins or 97 wins. They would have to have so many wins that it leaves room for the losses at the bottom. But I would love to see one of your breakdowns and let us know if it's possible, BK.
I think you're correct. There are not enough wins to go around. It's like you're saying, what are your predictions? I think these teams win. You can't have 790 wins. Like, there's not enough wins to go around. So you took math class, did you?
I did.
All right, we'll take a short break. When we come back, it is early. We know, but there is a thing that we call...
Dodgers target $204 million blockbuster. Dodgers fans, you better sit down for this one. Imagine a world where this team, the one that started the season 8-0 and then came crashing back to earth, goes out and fixes its biggest issues by trading for not one, but two All-Stars. We're talking about Luis Arraez, the reigning MLB batting champ, and Luis Robert Jr., an electric center fielder who could instantly upgrade the outfield and bring Gold Glove caliber defense back to LA. Sounds wild? Maybe. But this isn't just some fan fiction. Insiders are starting to throw out these blockbuster scenarios, and honestly, they make a lot of sense. So here's the question. Would you be willing to give up top prospects to win now? Today, we're breaking it all down: stats, contracts, realistic trade packages, and most importantly, what this means for the Dodgers' chances at another championship run. So before we dive in, make sure you smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe if you bleed Dodger Blue, because here, we do news like true fans. Blue Heart Baseball. The reality check in LA. Let's start with where we actually are. After an 8-0 start, the Dodgers just wrapped up a rough 2-4 road trip against the Phillies and Nationals. The team looked sloppy, defense was shaky, base running was a mess, and a lot of the mistakes came from one name in particular, Andy Arraez. Yes, he's shown flashes at the plate, 2 home runs in his last 2 games, but in center field, he's been rough. That misplay on Bryce Harper's liner that helped flip the game? That hurt. And it's not just one play. Arraez has struggled to track balls, make clean throws, and stay composed in key moments. The Dodgers are in win-now mode, and you can't have your biggest defensive liability playing the most important outfield position. Why Luis Robert Jr. makes sense. Enter Luis Robert Jr. Let's be clear, this dude was an all-star in 2023, smashed 38 home runs, drove in 80 RBIs, and had a .857 OPS. He won a Silver Slugger, earned down-ballot MVP votes, and he's only 27 years old. Sure, 2025 hasn't started great for him. He's slashing just .154/.244/.179 with no home runs and 13 strikeouts in 11 games. But, come on. Look at where he is. The White Sox are in a freefall. That clubhouse is a disaster. You think he wouldn't benefit from playing in front of 50,000 screaming fans in LA every night? A change of scenery might be exactly what he needs. And here's the kicker. His contract is an absolute bargain. Signed through 2025. 2 team options for 2026 and 2027 at $20 million per year. Only a $2 million buyout if things go south. That's team-friendly, flexible, and perfect for a franchise like the Dodgers. Even if he's no longer the Gold Glove defender he was as a rookie, he's still a major upgrade in center field and a right-handed bat with 30-plus homer potential. Luis Arraez, contact king, bat-to ball wizard. Now let's talk about the other name in the rumor mill, Luis Arraez, currently with the Padres. Yes, that Luis Arraez, the guy who's won 3 straight batting titles, has been an All-Star 3 times and owns a .283 average this season, which for him is actually below average. He's one of the most unique hitters in baseball. Elite contact. Barely strikes out. Spray hitter who terrorizes pitchers by putting everything in play. Now, defensively, not great. In fact, minus 34 career outs above average at second base. That's rough. But the bat makes up for it big time. He's also a free agent after this season, which means San Diego could absolutely look to move him if their season goes off the rails. And let's be honest, it's not looking great down there. Spotrac projects him to command a 9-year, $154 million contract in free agency. So if the Dodgers want him now, they'd have to make a real offer. But man, imagine him in this lineup, slotting in between Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, and Will Smith. That's nightmare fuel for opposing pitchers. What would LA have to give up? All right, here's where it gets tricky. For Luis Robert Jr., the White Sox aren't going to demand the moon. He's slumping, and they're rebuilding. A couple of strong prospects, think Michael Busch, River Ryan, or Nick Frasso, could get it done. But Arraez? That's another story. He's the best pure hitter on the market, even with 1 year of control left. To get him, the Dodgers might have to give up a top-tier prospect like Dalton Rushing or even Josue De Paula. It's a lot to consider. The Dodgers have always been cautious about dealing their farm away, but at the same time, the current core, Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, is built to win now. Do you risk waiting? Or do you go all in? What should the Dodgers do? And this is where I turn it over to you. Dodgers fans, would you do it? Would you trade Arraez, De Paula, or Rushing to bring in Luis Robert Jr. or Luis Arraez, or maybe even both? Or would you stay the course and keep developing the next wave of talent? Honestly, I'm torn. I love watching our prospects grow into stars. There's nothing better than seeing a homegrown Dodger shine. But this window we have right now, it's rare. Ohtani is in his prime. Betts and Freeman are still elite. Yamamoto looks legit. This team is built to win in 2025. And trades like these, they could be the missing piece. So now it's your turn. Who would you rather trade for? Robert Jr.? Arraez? Both? Neither? Let us know in the comments, and if you've got trade proposals, we want to hear them. This community is all about smart fans, passionate debates, and following every move the Dodgers make. So if you love talking Dodgers, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a beat. We'll be back with more breaking news, trade rumors, and real fan takes. Until then, let's go Dodgers!